a rice cracker. And the reason we're doing this is because I am doing an elimination diet to find allergens. So this basically means I just take everything out but rice and beans and fruit and vegetables and like beef and tuna. So that means no sunflower oil, no soybean oil, no artificial sweeteners, no preservatives, no food coloring. So as you can imagine, that has been quite a challenge to find store-bought goods, and that is why we were making these homemade. However, I actually liked these a lot better than other ones I've tried that are store-bought before anyway. And so hopefully they'll become one of your favorites too. It's pretty simple, only 2-3 ingredients if you count water. So let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully they help you on your elimination diet or just to provide some variety in your daily eating and cut out some of the processed foods. So first things first, go ahead and preheat your oven to around 375, and then we'll be using a baking sheet. I'll spin you around here. Baking sheet, we're gonna line it with wax paper. You can go ahead and use like grease it like you normally would. We're not doing that just because, like I said, I'm on the elimination diet, so I can't use butter or normal shortening or a lot of our typical oils that we use. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use wax paper. Now to get started, we have our Ninja. You can also use a regular food processor. But this is what we'll be using. We're going to add 1/4 cup of cooked rice. Add that in there. Next, we're going to be doing 3/4 cup of rice flour. You can see we have that here. If you don't have this, but you have rice at home, you can make this just by running it through either the Ninja like we have here or a blender, and you'll just want to blend it until it's fine. I have more off to the side if this isn't enough, but 3/4 cup of our rice flour here, and we will follow that by 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You don't necessarily need to add this, but it will add quite a bit of flavor if you're not adding other seasoning. That being said, you can season these any way you like. So if you want like chili powder or garlic or paprika, those are a few fun things that would be good to try. Like I said, with the elimination diet, I am unable to add a lot of those things right now. I could do garlic, but I'm just going to stick with a plain cracker, and I'll top it with other things. We'll continue with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You can use any vegetable oil, but again, elimination diet, a lot of those are off limits. So no canola or sunflower or soybean oil. And maybe you just don't like those oils anyway, so then stick to the olive oil or avocado oil or something like that. Finally, we're going to add 4 tablespoons of water, and then we're going to blend this until it's very finely ground. Scratch that, blend this first and then add the water after it's finely ground so that we can make it more liquid at the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend it and check back in. Next, we're going to continue by adding our 4 tablespoons of water, and I just filled up a glass so I wouldn't have to run back to the sink. This is the messier version. All right, once you add that, we're gonna blend it again just to get it a little bit more runny, liquidy, and then we will need to combine it into a dough and start shaping it into dough balls. So now you can see we have a fairly thick mixture. You can either place this in between 2 sheets of saran wrap to try and flatten it out, or you can just shape dough balls by hand, which I'm going to do, so you can pick the size. So these will be somewhat small because we want to just get a round ball, and then we'll place it on our baking sheet before we flatten them out. So we'll do a bunch of balls like this size and then transfer them to our baking sheet. This would also be the time, if you haven't added any seasoning yet, go ahead and add that now to whatever flavor you would like it to be. Again, some suggestions, maybe some garlic or some paprika. You could even do something with like cumin and make a cumin and coriander. Lots of options there. So we'll just keep continuing with this and come back when we are getting ready to bake them. So now we've gotten our crackers all rolled out here. We're going to take them over and throw them in the oven at 375 for approximately 8 to 10 minutes. You'll just want to watch these closely. They'll crisp up quickly, so we don't want burnt crackers, but we want them to be slightly browned on each side. So you may want to, around 4 or 5 minutes, go ahead and flip them over with a spatula. But we will go ahead and let those bake and check back when they're done. Here we have our finished rice crackers, getting nice and close. You can see they're just slightly brown, not all that much, and that might depend on the oil you use. But these are actually pretty good tasting, just with olive oil and salt. You might like them plain, like I said, with lots of those other flavorings. Otherwise, how I am going to eat them tonight as a snack is with some tuna. So a tuna cracker. They are nice and crisp, and they're a little bit crumbly, but not too bad as long as you don't overcook them. They did end up being, like I said, around 8 to 10 minutes, and you'll want to flip them halfway through. Hopefully you like these rice crackers and they help you get through if you're on an elimination diet or other diet. Otherwise, I hope you just enjoy this nice treat, kind of a fun, different snack to make. If you like this, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and join us again next time. Thanks. Have a nice day.